All right, we are agreed. There will be no naming the baby after any of our exes or people who are mean to us at school. There's nothing weirder than knowing your kid shares the name as someone who stole your lunch money when you were 12 or used to make out with your wife. Or husband. Yeah, I think that's a reasonable request. That just leaves every other possible name on Earth. I think this might end up being harder than either of us thought it would be. There's just so many choices. I mean, we are literally trying to decide what people are going to call this kid for the rest of their life. They'll have to write it on school assignments, have it on their driver's license, everything. I mean, what if they end up hating it? Or worse, hate us for picking it? True. They can always change it when they turn 18 if they really don't like it. That does take some of the pressure off. Yeah, nicknames are a thing too. Who really knows what other people end up calling them when they're older? We should at least start thinking of some options we like, even if we don't choose the exact name today. Since we don't know if they're going to be a boy or girl, we'll have to make 2 lists of names we like. Then we can narrow it down once we know what we're having. Well, if the future tiny human would cooperate during ultrasounds, we might know already. At least we know they're the right size and growing well. Just looks like we might have a bit of a surprise on their due date at this rate. We'll just have to keep our fingers crossed at our next doctor's appointment. So, if we have a girl, what names do you like? Unless you've reconsidered just using mine, whether it's a girl or a boy. Hey, Cardlina would totally work for a girl. She'd totally rock it. And if it's a boy, we can call him CJ. Cardlin Jr. Fine. But I still reserve the right to add those to the maybe list. You never know. When you look at their little face, you may just realize, wow, they totally are a Cardlin. Yes, I got a maybe. Adding it to the name notebook. All right, so what are some you've been thinking of? Yeah, those sound really pretty. I'll add them too. I have a couple of others I've always been partial to as well. That's at least a good start. What about names from like books or movies and stuff? Maybe from a movie we saw? Book we read as kids? Then the name would have some extra meaning behind it, and we can read the book to them or watch the movie together to show them where their name came from. When they're old enough, of course. Samwise from Lord of the Rings? Howl from that Ghibli movie you like? Ripley would be an awesome girl name. Ooh, maybe Arya? Some of those sound good? Perfect. Some more options to put on the list. Okay, how about this? I'll just spitball a bunch of names and you just tell me yes or no, and I'll add them to the list, okay? All right. Here we go. Daniel. Jessica. Henry. Michael. Laura. Sam. Blair. Nick. Luna. Madison. Okay, Megan. Thomas. Angela. Albert. Kara. Andy. Neil. Cindy. Adele. Andrew. Terrence. Melody. Patrick. Nathan. Jacob, Blue, Sabrina. Okay, Kelly, Dylan, William, Brad, Greg. Okay, what about Elora, Katrina, Emily, Trisha, Eric, and Cardlin. Okay, you can't blame a guy for trying. But glad to know you like some other names too. I got them all down on the lists. Okay, what about middle names? Do we want to use family? Friends? Just other names we like? Yeah, I guess. Yeah, we could do our dad's names if it's a boy. That does mean he'd end up with 4 names, though. Could turn into a bit of a mouthful or hard to fit on a birth certificate. Okay, it's true. Some people have like 5 or 6 names, so 4 wouldn't be so bad. We can put them down as an option. Does that mean you want to do our moms if it's a girl then? All right, on the list they go. We'll have to try and find first names that work well with them. If we're going with 4, might as well make them all sound good together. Have a nice flow. You know, your mom is going to cry so hard if it's a girl. She's been hinting that she would love to have a little namesake running around, even if it's one of their middle names. No, I don't think she'd be disappointed if it's not a girl. I think she's just super excited to be a grandma no matter what we end up having or what their name is. She's already collecting cute clothes and toys to spoil them rotten. I saw that she even has a proud grandma shirt all ready to go. I think we might want to wait to tell everyone the name till after they're born anyway. Gives us more time to pick one out. And we can surprise our parents with a middle name idea if we decide to go with it. We'll just have to keep calling the baby Tiny Human or Future Person or stuff like that for now. Which I'm totally fine with since it's super adorable. Won't be too much longer before we get to meet the little future human, whatever we happen to name them. Then we'll have a whole lot more than just her name to keep ourselves busy. You listening in there? Tiny baby? Tiny baby! We'll get you a name eventually. You just worry about growing in there and we'll handle the rest. Whoa. Judging by that kick, I think we have a deal.